I just learned that if I ask my wife, "Do you need to yawn?" she will yawn 100% of the time. Done this at least 20 times in the last hour. So what is the least amount of power that has ever gone to your head? I just yawned immediately after reading that. Haha, crazy. My new puppy is so fat and excitable. If I say walk, she gets so excited and will run around my room for about a minute and pass out immediate. My wife cannot sneeze if anyone tells her bless you before she sneezes. I actively have to stop myself from messing up her sneezes. I wonder if this would work mid-fight. Successfully started argument. Successfully caused yawn. Made her more upset. 100% not worth. You know when you're in the shower and you let it run over your arm and you kinda think you got hydrokinesis. YH that. My childhood friend used to be so ticklish to the point that he'd pee himself laughing from air tickles. You didn't even need to touch him, just be visible and do the tickling gesture. Sadly, that power is gone now that man has become a rock and doesn't feel tickles anymore. You broke him. I have the ability to know which Tupperware will fit the leftovers within 5% of its maximum volume. It infuriates my partner because they can't understand how I could be that accurate every single time. Fearnit. If I stare at my dog for 5 to 10 seconds, he will have a kind of anxiety-induced yawn. Then he'll start talking if I keep staring. Please don't hurt me, man. I had no idea those were your socks. I thought they just smelt like you. Fun fact. Dogs will yawn to show they're just playing or that they're not a threat. I honestly couldn't count the number of nervous stray dogs I've gotten to approach me by crouching down, turning to the side, nonchalantly looking around and yawning. It puts them at ease because it essentially signals that you're relaxed and bored, so they feel safer. Try this one. Anytime you see someone getting ready to sneeze, point to them and call out loudly, and quickly, "No. Don't do it. No sneezing allowed." 99.9% of the time their sneeze vanishes. And they hate you for it. XD. I put a child lock on my trash can to keep my dog from eating trash, and I am drunk with power. I can wiggle my fingers at my wife and say, "Tickle, tickle, tickle," and she will react like she's being tickled. When my wife talks, you can give her anything and she will take it unconsciously. No matter what it is. Diaper, used hanky, half-eaten food. Trash. Most of the time she won't realize it until minutes later and then gets mad at you. As of now, I haven't found anything she won't take. Offering people chewing gum without chewing some yourself will make them feel self-conscious about their breath, and puts them on the back foot, mentally. It's surprisingly effective, and it feels like having a certain level of power over someone, but it's also not very nice. Being in the front of a line of cars, rolling a little forward, then watching the cars behind you slowly pull up one by one. Hilarious power. Every time I touch my girlfriend's nose, she has to audibly say my nose. No idea why, but she physically cannot control it unless she holds her breath or is extremely distracted. It's been a fun 2.5 years. Every time we made bratwurst, I suggest sex. Now every time we make bratwurst, my wife wants to have sex. It's the little things that keep a marriage going after 15 years. Slite. If you tell someone to start breathing manually, their brain forces them to until they forget. When they forget, you can just say it again. Fuck you. Like a decade ago, I had a couple magnets surgically implanted in my fingers. Certain types of laptops go to sleep when a magnet in their screen comes close to a magnet in their chassis. Something I would do to new coworkers is walk up to their laptop and say, "Hey, did you know you can shut off your MacBook if you stroke it like this?" And then stroke the side of their laptop with my finger, causing it to shut off. So anyway, yeah, that. Why and how is a much simpler to answer. I had a guy cut open 2 of my fingertips * and insert magnets into them. His name's Steve Hayworth. I think he had a show on the Discovery Channel at some point. As far as why goes, I was in college for physics at the time, and thought being able to feel magnetic fields would be pretty cool. Which, to be frank, it kinda is. There's way more magnetic fields in your daily life than you might be aware of, and they all feel a bit different. It really is like an extra sense that rarely comes in handy, but does give context for a lot of things if you're interested in that. Also, I worked as an electrician for a short time after college, and being able to tell a hot wire from a dead one without tools, via the magnetic fields they induced, was a pretty neat trick, though I wouldn't trust my life to it. Non-adjacent, index and ring finger. Because if they get stuck together while I'm sleeping they may kill the skin between them. Neodymium magnets, about the size of a grain of rice. Encased once in gold, and then again in silicone to keep them from interacting with my blood.